Are you ready? Because he's ready. It's Master Jeff! Martial arts expert, instructor extraordinaire, and general clown. He's not afraid of coronavirus. He's not afraid of the bad guys. Master Jeff is not afraid of anything.
Okay, what's up? Anybody joining us? We're just about to bow in. I got Isabella and Jubilee. Okay, cool. Cool. Get together, toes apart, hands at our side. Chile. Cuidado. Cuñe. Claro. Mucho. Claro. Is it really hot in here, or is this me?
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty hot.
Cool. Move back a bit. You move to the second line, and then move to the fourth line. I'm gonna relieve myself of this shirt. I have a tank on underneath, don't worry. Let's warm up with, I've had a pulled muscle in my shoulder, and I've been trying to take it easy. Let's do, like we did the other day, sun salutations to warm up. Did we do that the other day? All right, well, this is how you do sun salutations in basic yoga. Those at home, feel free to join along with us. This is a warm-up that you tend to do before a yoga class for getting the body all loose and engaged together. So start, feet neutral, hands to the side, breathe in, hands up, breathe out, hands down and bend. You breathe in, straighten your spine, you breathe out, and bend the knees to the floor. The easiest version is that you step your feet back, go into a downward dog, roll through into an upward dog, go back into a downward dog, bend your knees, step forward, and come up into heart center. There are a few other versions of a sun salutation with a little bit more happening. So for example, level 2, let's go down, straighten the back, bend the knees, and this time, jump the feet back into a pike. And this time, cobra push up through into an upward dog, push the hips back, and bend the knees, jump the feet back in, breathe in, heart center. So that's a full sun salutation with the jumps. Let's do 2 more to finish warming up. Down, getting further and further each time. I'll continue to cue for the last one in case you don't know how to do it. Exhale down. Breathe in. Exhale. Jump back. Exhale. Back. Then jump. Inhale. Good. Loosen up again, side to side. Good. Down, push-up position. Coming in fact, we're about to do push-ups, so come on in, bow, and join us for the push-ups that we're about to do. Push-up jacks. So, you've seen them before, it's just, what? I'm crying already. It's just jumping jacks in a push-up form, right? So your hands and feet are close together, push up, a far apart. In, out. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back stretch. 1, 5. Good. Everybody stand up. At Breathe in, hands up. Breathe out, slight bend in the knees. Breathe in, hands to one side. Exhale, balance on one foot. See how I shifted my weight over to one leg? And raise without leaving your hand. Shift to the other side. Raise. You see how my posture stays calm? And I'm not going like this. Side, stretch, side, stretch. One more time, breathe in, bend. As you lift your hands up, reach one leg back. As you reach your hands back, the same leg goes forward. Don't put your weight on that leg. Instead, let it tap with total stability and control. Shift. Other leg back. Let the hands come up. Other leg forward. Let the hands go back. Back and forward. Watch. Please stop doing that. My deltoid is my worst enemy and my best friend. It's not. Okay. Let's come on down to. I feel like we need to warm up with the deep release. Let's keep doing it. Why not? All right. So, step into a deep lunge with one foot. Hands up. Inhale, both palms down to the inside of your front leg. You can lift the back toes off the mat. The back heel. Good. From here, I have, in my case, the right leg bent. So I'm going to lift my right hand. If you have the left leg bent, lift your left hand. And hold. Keep the hips low. And switch the hands. Stay steady and breathe deep. Keep the pelvis low to the floor. Keep the spine long. Rest. Try not to flop. The left leg is bent, or the right leg is bent. Keep bending the same leg. Keep the heel on the ground, not the ball of the foot. Sink. And the leg that's out, push the heel in towards the floor to stretch your hamstring. Good. Try to keep the heel on the floor, not the ball of the foot. So not up here, but here. Switch. The other side. Breathe in and stretch. Good. So in this case, I now have my left leg as the bent one. So my left hand reaches towards the roof. We're reversing what we did on the other side. Good. Keep the hips low to the ground. Keep the back leg as straight as you can. And switch. Breathe deep. Come on in. Push-ups and joints. Both hands down. My left leg is bent, so the same leg stays bent as I go all the way down. Drive the other heel into the floor. Hands on the hips, rotate 1, 2, 3. Other way, 1, 2, 3. Good. Breathe in. How we get to a downward dog in yoga is that we exhale, bend forward. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, slide bend to the knees, and either step or jump back. Come to a downward dog and sit. Hang out here for a minute. Push with your hands. Drive your hips back towards your feet. Make sure your heels are all the way down on the floor. Knees are straight. Breathing deeply. Then come through into upward dog. You can lift the heels off the mat as you raise up. Don't sink into your shoulders. Stay nice and high. You can look forward or up. And back. The heels sink. The pelvis goes back. Good. Now this time, as we come through to an upward dog, my right leg is going to move to the outside of my hands. There are 3 ways to do this. As we come into a deep stretch, you're either going to stay here if this is already too much of a stretch for you. You can bend the back knee to get a little bit lower. You can bend the elbows, get a little bit lower. And the final version of the stretch is to have the elbows on the floor and the back leg straight. Come down for your stretch. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back onto the hands. If you tuck the back toes, untuck them now. Reach this leg up towards the roof. And switch. Other leg comes forward to the outside. And same option. Either stay right here, drop the elbows. Oh my God, my left leg is tighter. Drop the knee. And I'm going to stay here because I don't have enough flexibility to lift up my right leg right now. So find where it's comfortable for you. Breathe. Not noises, breath. Your body is tight. It needs oxygen. When you breathe, you give oxygen to your blood. As you do so, it helps you stretch without tearing your muscles. You're welcome for that. Come back up. Untuck the back toes and straighten the leg. Breathe. And down. Back to downward dog. Now into a pigeon. Choose a leg, say your right leg, reach it forward and across. And drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Find some buoyancy without the use of your hands and adjust your posture. Breathe in, breathe out, reaching far and forward. Find the stretch in your pigeon. Walk the hands back. Untuck the back toes. Push and reach the back leg up and down into downward dog. Other leg comes up and forward across into our pigeon. Drop the back knee. Untuck the back toes. Find your buoyancy. Inhale. Exhale forward. My left leg hates me. That or the knee surgery. One of these two. Walk the hands back. Untuck the back toes. Push into the ground. Reach the back leg up. And stretch. Good. From here, pick the right leg up, reach it in between your hands. Drop the back knee to the ground. Untuck the back toes. Sit up, hands on your hips. We're going to move forward. 1, 2. As we go forward, and then we're going to touch the ground and straighten the front leg. 3, 4. Hands on the hips. 1, 2, and back. 3, 4. One more. 1, 2. Tap the ground. 3, 4. Now we have our right leg forward. Right? Then forward. Place the left hand on the mat. Take your right hand, reach behind, and meet your ankle. Then from here, make sure your pelvis is still going down towards the floor. And stretch. The more you pull your foot, the greater the quadricep stretch, but don't pull so it hurts. Just feel a nice stretch and leave it there and breathe. We don't want any pain. Release gently, taps to the ground. Both hands on the outside of our feet. Untuck the back toes, push, and reach with the back leg. And left leg comes in between the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, hands to the hips. Going forward, 1, 2, touch the mat, extend the front leg. 3, 4, hands on the hips forward. 1, 2, hands on the mat. 3, 4, 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one. 1, 2, and back. 3, 4. Good. Now the left leg is forward. The right hand pins to the mat. Left knee reaches behind and meets the ankle. Then don't stick the hips back. Drive the pelvis forward towards the floor. Get maximum quadricep stretch, but stop when it hurts. Or rather, stop before it hurts. Just give it a nice stretch. Release. The hands go outside the feet. Untuck the back toes. Push. Reach. Stretch. Find your downward dog and hang out there for a second. Bend your knees. And if you want to, either step or hop back in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Exhale. We'll end with an eagle. Well, we'll end with an eagle into warrior. We're going full yoga today. So, breathe in. I'm going to do the reverse of you so you can copy me. So pick up your right leg and rest it against. You can either rest it here or below the knee, but not on the knee. 5 bounds. Good. Now bend the bottom knee. Take the leg that's bent, reach it across the leg, and tuck it behind. From here, your right leg is on top. Your right hand reaches underneath, across the elbow, claps, elbows go high, knee bends low. Your drishti, as they call it in yoga, your gaze is steady forward. Good. Unwind, back to here. Bend forward into warrior 3. Tall from the back of the neck, heel driven forward. Back, down, hang out here for a second. So, broaden the collarbone for your stability, right? I widen my chest and have my stability moving upwards towards the floor. My breath is powerful. Slight bend of the knee, top leg reaches across, tucks behind. Now, my left leg is the one that's on top, so my left hand crosses around and underneath until my hands clap together. Elbows go up, stance bends low, your drishti, your gaze, focus forward. Your posture is tall. Strong breath. Powerful. Oh yeah. Good. Unwind. And into warrior 3. Lift that back leg. As you bend forward, lengthen the neck from the behind of the neck. Lift your back leg, your bottom leg straight if you can. To stretch the hamstring to its fullest. Come back up. Feet down. And rest. Good. The lesson here is that a hard workout doesn't have to be a fast workout. Yes? Do you need somebody, sir?
Oh, please let me still see you in the front.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I feel loose. I feel warmed up. I don't know about you guys. You never done yoga? No?
Yeah, our mom did it.
Man, I was nice to you guys too. I didn't have any of you guys like in any of those weird positions where you like stay like that.
Oh my goodness!
We were being nice. So anyway, back, hands up. Good. Something in the eye. From snap kicks, making a pop happen. We're all wearing dojo pants, I guess, except for me. And so the nice thing about gi pants is that there's a little oomph, a little pop, a little cut. And you do a nice fast front snap kick, yes? Huh. Good. Try not to yank the pants down, right? Have you ever seen anybody knee themselves in the face? I have. Bam! Is it hilarious? Not for the person who does it. For literally everybody else, it's hilarious. But for that one guy who just beat himself in the face, not as funny.
I heard this, like, I don't know what I don't know if I represented it or kind of.
Just now?
Yeah.
You want to go put some ice on it?
No, it's fine. It's just like, I don't want to pick it.
Go put some ice on it.
It's okay.
Have it.
I'm sweating.
Why don't you just do a whole hip opening yoga class and then pull your muscle? This boy's tight in the hips or he wasn't doing it. One of the two. That, or he just warmed up a bunch of muscles that he's never used before. All right, front snap kicks, 2. Good. Sit. Back. Nick. Down. Well, what? Honey. I do. Sit. Nick. Down. Good. Watch it. Your knee is kind of coming this way a little bit. There you actually come out. And what that's doing is it's directing your power away. If I want to kick the knee right in the head, my knee points right to her head, and then I say pow pow. If I do this, I'm either going to do some kind of roundhouse or a front kick like that. Off angle. It comes right forward. Speaking of, that's a good idea. We were talking about the drishti, right? That's a term in Hindi, in yoga, I guess I should say, for the gaze. And all that just means it's like that little thing people say when you're balancing, focus on something. That's literally it. Your focus, what you're projecting your eyes on is maintain your balance. But also, your focus helps you maintain accuracy with the kick. So, pick a target in front of you. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is. But look and see a single object. Like maybe I'm looking at that little triangle right in between the A of my hand. Yeah? Doesn't matter what you're looking at. And every time I do a front kick, pop, I'm trying to hit that same pop spot. Pick something. And kick with speed and power and accuracy. And then you put your knee to that spot, pow, and then your foot goes to that spot. And we're lining everything up. That's manos, arriba. See? Yes, I forgive you this time. Keep your hands up, yes? Thank you. So, right leg back, let's start over. Let's do 10 more, 5 on each side. And as you do them, try to go a little bit higher. Like I know that you were joking and kicking at me, but you were also kicking low even for you. You want to aim belly height or higher, yes?
Yeah, but I only aim high when I'm like this.
Ah,
Like
good.
I'm on a diagonal target.
Well, don't. Do a front kick and aim at least as high as your own belly. Thank you. Good. We're trying to warm up our own legs, and a good way to stretch is to actually do stuff. I threw out my shoulder the other day. I mean, I can still do stuff, but I have a horribly inflated muscle right here. Stretching it isn't going to fix it. What's going to fix it is doing active, what they call eccentric strengthening, where you take like a weight and you lower it. You let the muscle get longer while doing work. Doing work is what can mobilize your legs. Yeah, so it's okay if you can't kick really high right now, but you know how you get to be able to kick really high? By kicking really high. Gradually, that opens and opens and opens up your hips and muscles just by doing it. Your body will adjust. Pick your target. Hunt it. Do it. Sit. Net. Toss it. Double butt. Target. Double butt means suspicion. Hunt it. Do it. Sit. Net. Toss it. What? Roundhouse kicks, same concept. Come on in. Feel free to just use your one leg, but also everybody else's switch as needed. Pick your target. Pow. hit the same target. Pow, every time. That bottom foot. Pivot. Hana. Good. Try not to throw this back hand away. You can extend it, but don't do that. 2. Good. Try to keep your eyes going. We talked about Joshi. We talked about looking at your target. If I do this, how do I know where I look to look? All jokes aside, it's sparring somebody, but Lydia's ready. She's going to dodge that way. And then she sneaks around and punches me in the head before I even know what happens. Yeah? You need to look at where you're going to kick. And that's how I'm able to have maximum speed, maximum power, and control. Would you trust me to not hit you in the head with that kick if I was looking over there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't either. I'm pretty good, but I'm like, right? It's much better when I can see. Same with you. So treat. Would you find on the right leg? Alright, here we are. Ready? Find your target. The lefty, roundhouse. 1. Good. Keep the head high. Keep it looking forward. 2. 3. 4. 5. And rest. 준비. 기초 1번. Yes? Or basic 1 in English. On the count that I'm looking for are fundamentals. Yes? 1. Very good. My back toes are going forward. My hips and shoulders are square, going forward. Not here. 2. Man, you've got major dance class. 3. Almost. So we go side to side. So you started with this right hand going this way. That was move number 2. Then you're going to turn back this way. So we go, yeah, you were here, top. And then we go like this. And 4. Good. Same thing. You're super long with your stance. You're like, I want to step 1,000,000 feet. And so you go, oh, look at the back foot and the hips. Don't step as far. Step shorter and bend the knee. And now look, the back feet are still forward. If I go further, look at how bad my stance is. Relax. I can go further back. Keep the back toes forward. I can go back and keep the hips forward. I can go back and keep the shoulders strong. See, I don't need to go to here and do a bad stance. This is enough. 1, down low. What is enough? And the toes need to be going to the front. So that's where you want to be. Don't go so far that they're sideways, but don't go not enough. 2. Good. Keep that back foot down and right towards the middle. The solar plexus. You know what the solar plexus is? But one other thing, you're quite flexible, and look at how your arm is bending this way. That's what we call hyperextension. It means when a joint bends further than it's supposed to. It's fine, but if you hit something like that, you risk injury to your elbow. Exactly. So keep it straight. Consciously keep it straight. 3. Yeah, it's going to be something that you figure out more when you actually hit it. But like local media, you hit something full power and it's marvelous. It's like when you punch like this, you're going to figure out exactly why. And 4. The opposite problem, fully extended. 1. 2. I have like a big stick with a hook on it. Because I can't like touch you guys, but I need to like 3. Watch out, Lily, you wasn't wrong there. Four. 1. 2. 3. And 4. 1. 2. 3. 3, 4. Follow. Unusual.
Oh, that's fine. Yes.
Yes. What is a front stance? Good question. Thank you for asking. A front stance is a stance that fulfills a purpose. It has an objective, and the objective is to, 1, project my power, my inertia, my strength forward, and 2, keep me from moving backwards. And this keep me from moving backwards fulfills the purpose of better projecting my power forward. Now here's a question for you. Does the front stance do what it does using the muscles in your leg, mostly, or by the shape that you're in? That is to say, the back leg straight instead of the back bent, or the back goes forward instead of the back side. Is it the structure or the actual muscle that's doing more of the work?
Structure?
Do we all agree? Is it the structure? Who do you think is the structure? Raise your hand. Yeah. Well, in lieu of me just saying what it is, I mean, obviously it's a bit of a trick question and it's a little bit of both, but it's more the structure. Yeah. And so in lieu of just taking my word for it, let's do a little bit of a science experiment. Hence me needing to stick with it. Yeah, please. If somebody gets, actually I wish I had a belt for myself. I do, I'll get it in a minute. Take a couple steps forward, so that everybody can see, and get in the front stance. Good. So if somebody is in a front stance, and I pull them back, I shouldn't be able to. But is it because they're pulling against me, or is it because of the shape of their legs? Hold this for a second. Oh, you didn't know? That's fair, I guess. So you thought I was just some guy coming in here teaching class? Actually, don't leave this that tight or tight for me. I am a fourth degree. That's why they call me Master John and not just Sensei John. Yes. Look at me. Good. So when I get in the front stance and you pull back, if you suddenly let go and don't tell me when you're going to let go, I don't go flying forward. Because it is the shape of my leg, this diagonal going back to the ground, that's keeping me. If I was pulling against you and you let go, that's what happens. See? But that's not a front stance. It's not me going and leaning forward. It is by virtue of the fact that I'm forward that whenever it happens, who knows, I don't go flying forward. But now let's change this experiment a little bit. Please. If I do my front stance too wide, there's a reason why it's not effective. It's because this back leg isn't directly behind me against the direction that I'm being pulled. If it's too narrow, I'm likely to fall over inward. What about if the back toes are sideways? Energy can and will escape through the knee point. And if the knee will bend in a direction, it will. When I turn the toes forward, the knee bends this way. It does not bend that way. It doesn't even do that. Therefore, the energy can't escape. Therefore, it won't. And why is my knee bent? What if I did this? It's because I need the correct angle so that the force gets pulled downward into the ground. It is entirely mechanical. Yes, I use power, whoosh, to get there. But it is the structure that's doing more of the work. If I take this stick and I sit it against this corner and I push it from the side, obviously it takes minimal effort, barely any effort, 2 fingers to push it against the target. But if I push it downward through the stick, it can take a lot of weight. Yes? And that's when you notice when I was in a front stance and I was standing up without my knee. This back leg was like a vertical stick, and the pulling or the pushing was coming in this direction. And I had no stability. I didn't start using strength, instead I just bent the front knee and therefore changed the angle so that the pulling force went like this, into my hips and down through the back leg into the ground. Yes? And that is why the front stance was stable. If I do all these things and turn the hips, it's like if there was a bent stick or 2 sticks together. So the reason why we do a front stance the way we do is because it is mechanically powerful forward. Because the back heel drives forward and stays. That's why I hate it. That's why I don't like it. But I see somebody do this and drag the back leg with them to reach further. Because now this back heel isn't stable. And that's the whole point of a front stance. The back leg pushing the hips forward and driving into the ground. Make sense? Stand up.
That's not all running stance.
Running stance. Something like that. Yeah. But we're not here to run. And I'm also running coach. We fix the running stance too. But that's not the point. Not the point. That's not what we're here for. Left foot forward, front stance. And now, don't forget the hands. I don't care about them. Put your hands back and up, whatever. We're looking at the stance right now. Cool. Get in front stance. How is this angle? Is it going to keep me from pulling you backwards if I hook you back? Or is this me not bent enough? Maybe I didn't bend enough. Yes. You were like, oh, this is too vertical. This isn't bent enough. Let me make it longer and bend the front knee. And now we feel that stability, right? If it's too narrow, like you're standing on a tightrope and you're wobbly, that's no good either. That's why we go shorter with the partner, right? Looks a little narrow to me. Yeah, bend the front knee more. Relax. It looks like you're pulling me. Good. Better. Much better. Much better. Much better. Good. More. More.
You mind if I take other sisters right down here?
Yes, sir. I don't know about this in here. The thing about your front stance, well, actually, let's take this as an experiment and let's figure out exactly why this isn't the best front stance it could be. It's very close. Let's figure out why. Energy can and will escape in the direction where it easily can. Maybe our feet are a little bit too wide to start with. Maybe if you put your front foot in, make it narrower and more forward. Good. Bend the front knee more. Good. Rest. You also, my dear, want to make sure you weren't fixing it automatically. You want to make sure that you're not doing this. Here's where we want to be. See? Now buckling on the front knee. Then it makes the energy fall backwards in. See, but it's also just not good for your knees. Do we walk around like this? There's a lot of people actually, unfortunately, like a lot of people, they join like a dance studio or a gymnastics studio or whatever, and they sit like this. I can't even do it. They sit like underneath with their feet up to the side. You do that? Don't do that. You're impinging the inside of your front knee, and over time, you're going to end up either being digit toe or with hip problems. This is fine. But this puts unnecessary pressure right here, and it can cause you to develop habits of buckling the knees inward, like that. The heel downward, and the weight press forward. If you find yourself doing a horse stance like this, dangerous, right?
Really dangerous.
Really dangerous. Have you ever ever seen somebody in a judo school that flip somebody and then they drop them right there and break their knee?
Oh my goodness.
It's surprisingly common, actually. It's one of the most common injuries in judo. When you flip somebody, you should have your fists together. A lot of people will do like a horse stance, and then they'll drop somebody, and then move on sideways. When you do a good stance, the knees are above the feet.
And I can take a lot of weights.
Above the feet. Not this. This. Not this. This. Not this. This. Whoa. This. They can take a lot of weights. Exactly. So, you were a little bit wide, but then you try to get narrower, like this. Bring the foot on with it. So that it's still vertical. So that I'm still projecting forward.
This really hurts.
Oh yeah, that is the feeling of your quad getting stronger, yes? Yes, yes,
Dad,
yes,
for me
yes.
to walk tomorrow
You're welcome.
to Disney World.
Are you going to Disney tomorrow?
Yes, they're
Oh,
going
cool.
to Disney tomorrow.
All right, stepping forward in front senses, driving the back foot forward. 2. It's not a good front sense if I told you what this is. Thank you. Don't just do a stance for no reason. Step into the position. That makes me powerful. This isn't hang around and do whatever. It's martial arts, where we effectively get into position the first time. Then watch the back foot, it's a little off. It's also just the hips, right? Right now, your hips are like this, you fix to this. When they're like this, you enter the this this way. Adjust your hips to here.
It hurts when you pull.
It probably hurts here, and it probably hurts here.
When you pull out like this with your hand, it just
3. Good. 4. And 5. And bottle. Let's repeat basic one more time then. As we do so,
front stances.
yeah. Have a seat. As we do so, let's review the one concept about front stances that makes them a front stance. The fact that I'm actually pushing into that space. A lot of people will do basic one like this. I didn't do a front stance. I just turned sideways and bent the front knee. No, a front stance involves the back leg pushing from the heel. Pushing from the heel. Pushing from the heel. Pushing from the heel. Yeah? And so don't just step without any kind of push into position.
There's like a sticky.
Yeah. That's more like it. Yes? The leg is driving. It directs my force, it directs my power. Stand up, 2 feet.
You also do basically like stick.
That thing. That Magia does sometimes. The stack form. Oh yeah. On your own count, but don't go really fast. Instead, go slow enough that you can make sure that the front sets coming correctly. And as they go. Jimmy, correctly, please. Cross arms is important. Good, good, good. Begin. Get up more hips forward. And keep the back heel on the ground. The back heel isn't stable if it's like this. Back heel on the ground. Big this as much as you need to. Yeah. How can you sit there? You're too busy being in a good front stance. Get forward.
Hey.
I should have rotated you. I was trying to turn you like this. And bottom. Good. So we're getting the idea, we're getting the idea. Make sure that you're not going like this. Because we just talked about how the heel braces you forward. And if the heel is off the ground, and somebody pushes you or pulls you,
I'm not ready for it.
and somebody pulls you backwards, we're not in a position to do what is necessary. Okay. Running back, hands up. Let's do the turnaround side kicks that we did the other day where we returned back the same way that we came, right? Yeah, you're one of these. So basically, a lot of times when I see people do it, do you guys remember how to do a turnaround side kick? Awesome. It's where I'm here with, say, the right leg in the back. So I'm going to turn to the right without switching my feet, pick the knee up backwards, and stomp with the heel. Right. But what we want to do to control that even more is after we do the kick, instead of keep spinning, like you sometimes see people do, instead we're going to turn, side kick, and then unwind and come back.
Like this?
We're starting with the right leg back. So, other right leg back. Other right leg back. Then we turn, then we kick, then we unwind. So instead of kick and then keep going, I kick and come back to show how to control it. And
I never been able to do that.
breathe. Right leg back before we start. Other right leg. Yeah, you see? Go slow. Other right, keep doing the left leg back. Go slow. Make sure we get the correct leg behind. Turn, kick, return. One. Return. So kick and then keep going. Kick and then unwind. Back the way we came. 2. 3. Good. Try to control them more blind, but that's essentially the idea. 4. Great. And 5. Same concept. And 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And bottom. Everybody move back. Have a seat for a minute, please. Move back a little bit. Down. I want to talk to some about ki, about kumi, about power, about extension, about what it means to do a form kind of strong. In fact, before we do this, let me indulge myself for a minute. I'm going to put it on the back so that I can take this off and still be okay. We talked a lot about like if you can do a form or having a conversation, right? Then you know that form really well. Well, I'm going to do a form twice. I'm going to pick a random form. Tall guy 7. It's one of the red belt forms from a different system that we don't do currently. Chumbi. Now, the concept of this form, it's a very fast, it's a very strong, it's a very powerful form. But the concept that I'm going to talk about is how we can do a form and how it can be technically correct with good stances, but how you need the focus of your brain to make it powerful, right? So right now, I'm doing a form, it looks fine. It looks correct. It's not really missing anything. That was a form. All right, so I did it under the correct moves, in the correct order, my stances were fine, my moves were fine. Fine enough. One more time. All right, so. can I do the form as strong as I did the second time while still chit-chatting with you like the first time? What do you think? What's your question? Why? When I smack my head? Yeah.
It has to flow. John, it's meant to hurt. If it doesn't hurt, you're doing it wrong.
But here's my point. This free energy that I have when I was talking to you the first time, I took that space and decided every move was going to be full speed, full power, and yes, full strength. And that is the difference between an expert and a master level form. We only have a few minutes left. So, the form of your choice, you gonna try to tip again, Javi? Form of choice. The form of your choice, whatever that may be, stand up and spread out. And give it the kumi and the power. Then we'll hit the bags until we get out of here. To me, don't feel like you have to do the form really fast. Instead, take your time, make every single move. We'll break the board.
I think I wanted to do one. You guys didn't know how to do that. Well, it's good to practice it. You don't know.
So that's a fair point.
Good to practice.
Can you do 2-on-1? Very strong. If not, just do basic one. This isn't the time to practice a form that you don't know yet. This is the time to take a form that we know and murder it. Yes? Here's me doing a technique. That's a punch. Here's me murdering a punch. Yes? And if I don't know that like the back of my hand, I'm going to buckle my wrist on the target. So pick a form that you know. Do not practice time. It's showtime. Yes? I'm here for it. Chewy! I don't want to see anybody fixing their hair. I don't want to see anybody adjusting their stances. What that means is that you're thinking about that and not the next move. Yes? Whatever form you're doing, make sure you don't bump into anybody. Be I want to finish one final thing, actually. Sure, rest. I always use this example. I always say that what is force, right? It's mass times acceleration. We talk about that all the time. And what that means in literal terms is that somebody as big as Master Jeff, I've seen break 5 boards with a stepping sidekick. I've seen that happen. Or turnaround sidekick, one of the two. A larger person takes less acceleration and gets a large amount of force. I have also broken 5 boards with a sidekick. But it was a running jump sidekick. I do not have the same mass. So I needed more acceleration. I needed to go fast and dive through it. But what I lacked in mass, I made up in acceleration, achieving an equal force. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So what is power? Is it mass or is it acceleration?
Both.
It's both. I think we can all agree that this is still a fast person and that I'm still a strong person. Yes? And that we're striving to go as strong and as fast as possible. So let's end with the form that I made up that Rodrigo affectionately named basic jump. One more time. Those of you who know it, you know it. Those of you who don't, it is the shape of basic one, exclusively back stance, open hand middle box. Make sense? Everybody pick up your right hand, make it thin like a knife, and whoosh it through the air. Can you hear the whoosh?
Yes.
Every single move, wholesale. That's not my breath. Every single move gets a whoosh. We're mixing speed and power. Chumi, basic John, or as I call it, basic middle block. He was being clever. Call me basic. I knew what he was doing. All right, ready? I won't be able to hear the whooshes, but you'll hear the whooshes and you'll know. Begin! Makes a good technique and guts. I'll tell you what, we all tried, and I'll give you that. We all tried. Of course, like I always say, to triumph, you need what? A little bit of try and a whole lot of oomph. Yeah? So I appreciate the try. If you didn't hear the whoosh, we still need to find our oomph. Only then. Isn't it, Keith? All right, let's get out of here. Let's line up. We're not by rank. Let's fix it before we end. Adjust by rank. 10 seconds. Please and thank you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, lots of noise. 5, 4, 3, 2, everybody drop. 25 push-ups. Go. Quietly, unless we like 50.
Tummy touches, belt prints on the mat.
You did 25. Good ones. When you're done, run underneath the clock. Next time you get 5 seconds. Go, 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 go. Thank you. Line up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You see how quick? It's so easy, right? Wow, we did that really quick. Always do it that quick. Heels together, toes apart, hands to the sides. Oh. Okay, now I'm did it. Ohio. Good yang. Come. It's a black belt. Sway. Chidi up. Good yang. Facing here. Chidi up. Good yang. Facing that Master Jeff. Chidi up. Good yang.
Thank you guys.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Mr. Sellers.
Hi.
All right, anybody who wants to say bye to the tubers, come on up. Wow, we got a lot of tubers. We got Juby. We got Jordan. David Gleason, what's up? Pound it right there, David. Don't leave me hanging. And of course, we got the Spanglers. No surprise there. Very cool. All right, guys, time for us to sign off. We are out of here. And that was anticlimactic. Master Jeff accidentally. Let's try it again.
Oh.
We're going to try that again, folks, because Master Jeff accidentally hit the slideshow saying, we are out of here. This has been a South Miami Taekwondo live stream with Master Jeff. Avoid practicing the techniques during live stream with Master Jeff. Drunk, stoned, sloshed, tipsy, buzzed, blotto, slammed, plowed, jolly, play-eyed, hammered, wasted, inebriated, or otherwise intoxicated. Watching live stream with Master Jeff, you acknowledge the possibility of and leave all liability for mental laceration, occipital fracture, broken nose, acute or dislocation, strained wrist, hyperextended elbow, broken ribs, bruising, awaiting care, sprains, fractures, dislocated shoulder, or concussion. All rights reserved. Unauthorized presentation and publication strictly prohibited.